In this life, my people, some stories sound like riddles, but when you listen well, you find wisdom hiding inside them like a secret. This is the story of two sisters, born just 3 years apart, yet looking as if they came from two different mothers. The older one was short and soft faced, looking forever like a sweet 16. The younger one was tall, bold faced, and carried herself like a woman who had already seen the world. Their names were Ngozi and Chika. Ngozi the elder was calm and gentle like early morning dew. Chika the younger was fiery and full of life like the midday sun. But my people, even dew and sunlight cannot shine at the same time. In their childhood days in Uru village, nobody saw a problem. They were just two beautiful girls as Mama Ifunanya, always together like twins. They went to school together, bathed in the same stream, and shared secrets only sisters could understand. But from those early years, people began to notice something strange. Whenever the family went to church or to the market, strangers would point and whisper, "Look at Mami Funanya's daughters. The tall one must be the elder." And Mama would smile and correct them gently. "No, it's the small one that is the older." Then everyone would laugh and say, How can that be? The tall one looks like her aunt." It was all innocent then. Even Chika, the younger one, would smile proudly when people mistook her for the elder. She loved it. She loved the way people respected her tone, her height, her confidence. And Ngozi, quiet and sweet, never argued about it. She would only smile and say, "One day they will know." But children do not understand the weight of words until they grow. As they entered their teenage years, the difference became clearer. Chika's height commanded attention everywhere she went. She was beautiful, yes, but in a bold, striking way. Her jawline sharp, her face mature, her presence loud. Ngozi was the opposite. Soft cheeks, round eyes, small stature. She looked like a younger sister that needed protection. Whenever they went out, men would approach Chika first. "Good afternoon, fine woman," they would say, and she would blush, pretend to act older than she was. Sometimes she even introduced herself as the elder sister, not to mock Ngozi, but because it simply felt right. Ngozi noticed, of course, but she never complained. She just continued with her gentle life, carrying her calmness like a crown. She knew time had its own way of proving everything. But the world, my people, doesn't stop to balance itself immediately. It takes time, sometimes decades. When the two sisters reached their late 20s, both had moved to the city, life separated them, yet destiny tied them together than before. Ngozi became a nurse, always smiling with her patients, always wearing her simple beauty like a hidden light. Chika became a businesswoman, ambitious, proud, and respected. She was known for her tall figure and confident voice. People called her Madam Chika, and she liked it. But as the years passed, something quietly began to shift. Ngozi, now in her 30s, still looked youthful, almost untouched by time. Her small stature and innocent face became her greatest gift. Chika, however, began to feel the weight of her years. Her face, once firm and commanding, started to show the signs of stress. The city life, the nightlife, the constant chasing of contracts, they had started leaving marks invisible at her at first, but growing clearer. And yet, it wasn't until the family reunion that the difference became undeniable. At Mama Ifunaya's 60th birthday, the whole family gathered. Ngozi came home in her simple Ankara gown, no makeup, no show, yet she glowed like a new moon. Chika arrived later in high heels and gold jewelry that caught the sun, but as she stepped out of the car, all eyes turned to Ngozi. The aunties began to whisper, "Is that Ngozi? Eh? She still looks like a girl. Oh." Chika is fine too, but she looks more mature. And then came the dagger. One uncle asked loud enough for all to hear, Abeg, which one of them is older again? The laughter that followed was harmless to some ears, but deep in Chika's heart something cracked. The same title she had worn proudly all her life, the elder one, was now a burden she stopped to drop. She wanted to drop. From that day, Chika began to notice things she had ignored before. The way Ngozi's skin shone effortlessly, the calmness in her smile, the quiet confidence she carried, not loud, not boastful, but peaceful. People started asking Ngozi for advice more than Chika. Even younger cousin who used to run to Chika began to say, Aunty Ngozi just understand things better. And whenever Ngozi visited the village, people said she looked younger, fresher, softer. Chika began to feel something she could not admit: jealousy. Not the loud kind that makes you scream, but the quiet one that lives in your chest like a burning coal. She began to avoid mirrors. She started buying every cream, every oil, every new remedy that promised youth. But nothing changed. Because, my people, time is not something you can bribe. At first, she laughed it off. She told people Ngozi is lucky. She got mama's baby face. But in private, she began comparing herself to her sister in every way. She would scroll through old photos and sigh. How did she stay the same? Her pride, once her strongest armor, began to crumble. And for the first time in her life, she didn't want to be called the elder one. She noticed how quickly people now looked to Ngozi for wisdom, even though she was 3 years younger. And that was when Chika realized the world only honors what it sees. When people thought she was older, she enjoyed it. Now that she looked older, it was no longer sweet. One evening, Chika visited Ngozi. She quietly She sat quietly, watching her sister cook and laugh freely, her face glowing in the light of the lantern. There was no envy left, only admiration. Because in that moment she saw what she had missed all along. Ngozi had never cared about looks or age. She had cared about peace. And peace, my people, had its own beauty. From that day, Chika began to live differently. She started resting more, smiling more, comparing less. And whenever someone asked who was older, she would laugh and say proudly, Ngozi is my elder sister by 3 good years. Now it was her turn to enjoy the shock on people's face because she had learned that sometimes the secret revenge is peace of mind. And that, my people, is how life teaches its lesson quietly. The younger sister who once wore pride like perfume learned that beauty fades, but a gentle spirit never grows old. So before you envy another person's journey, remember every flower blooms at its own time. And whenever you are tall or short, older or younger, what really matters is how you treat people around you. If you enjoyed this story, my people, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. More stories are coming your way. Stories that make you laugh, think, and remember where you came from.